Hi. So today was the third day of class. Uh, Third day where we had classes full time, and today I had three classes of three courses. I didn't have the math class today. Math class we have on Friday. We didn't have a math class today, so the courses I had today were, of course, the same ones as earlier. Computer languages, hardware, and introduction to computer science. So in the class of computer languages, we had labs today for Python, and in the Python lab, what we did was we logged into the desktop computers that were there in the lab, and so for Python you use a platform called Spyder, Spyder. So we logged into that, and then we did the basic commands, like entering the basic commands into the Spyder portal, and so something like hello world, and then print hello world, and or give a command, this is my first program, and then so basically your commands are your inputs, and then you're looking for outputs, right? What's funny is, until now I didn't know that for Python you have to have a platform called the Spyder, and then you can play on that. I think, of course, there are some websites where you can simulate programming, and they will show you the output. Like for the other class, for C++, there's Windows Visual Studio for C++, and all these years that I had been searching for clues and trying to understand programming, I didn't even know that if you can download Spyder, or if you can download Visual Studio, then you can start practicing some basic commands and try to get some basic outputs, and so one more funny thing is, all these years, I mean, everybody knows the phrase hello world, right? Like, who hasn't heard of the phrase hello world? Typically it's the first commands that people enter into the computers when they start a new program. So all these years, when I heard the word print hello world, I used to think it means to print on a piece of paper, but actually print hello world just means to show as output on the screen, hello world, so so what I'm trying to say is, you may try to search for answers online, you may try to learn by yourself, and some are successful too, but if you don't join a formal course for learning, like a boot camp or an actual degree program, or learning from a good instructor, then you will have a lot of misconceptions and a lot of confusion, and that's why it's better to learn through a formal teacher who has had formal training, or somebody who is an expert. One more thing our instructor advised us is to become good at touch typing. So basically, I think he wants us to become good at typing fast without having to look at the keyboard. That way you'll be able to type in programs faster. And also, when you type a letter on Microsoft Word, it's okay to make mistakes, and it'll be forgiven, and there may be autocorrect. But when you do programming, even if you miss a semicolon in C++, or you miss closing a bracket in Python, it can cause errors, and the errors can be very frustrating. So it's good to be good at typing when you want to learn how to program. So today was basic hands-on, just to get used to the the platform for Python, Spyder, and just to understand what the screen looks like, what the output is like, and so on. And then the second class we had today was about hardware. So today the focus was on binary, you know, like what's binary addition, binary subtraction, binary multiplication, binary division, and how do you convert binary to decimal and so on. And also those gates and switches, the different types, so basically, you know what, like I will do some more reading, and maybe in my next video I'll upload more details. But today was the classroom. You know, I'm actually waiting to receive my textbook for the digital course, the hardware course. And so that was it. I will explain next in my next video. So the third class we had today was about the introduction to computer science, which had C++. So for C++ also we had labs today, and so today we didn't have didn't have introduction and didn't have housekeeping discussion. It was straight away jumping to classes. So in the labs, for C++ we went on Visual Studio, which was already installed into the desktops, and then after that, the basic program. So the first line of code was include, iOS file. So what I learned for C++ is that you have some libraries. There are some previously existing libraries, and what you can do is you can include the library. So when you include library, the computer automatically accesses the library and utilizes it to compile your program. And and then you have commands like int main, open bracket, close bracket, and then you type, cint is console input, cout is console output. And when you do your C++ programming, you have to not forget semicolon. So without semicolon it will show errors. So end of every line in C++ is semicolon. And so been same thing again, like hello world, or this is my first program. And then so the assignment for the homework for end of this week for both Python and for C++ is to convert inches to centimeters, or convert feet to inches, or convert miles to kilometers, and so on. So basically it's or converting temperature to Fahrenheit. So it's basically converting one unit to another. That's the assignment for this week for Python and for C++. It's supposed to be a very basic basic program, basic assignment. And so you can save it as the file specific to Python and specific to C++. So for example, for Windows you have txt, and for Excel you have XLS, and so on. So there's specific extensions for these files for Python and for C++. And so and then he said once you save it, you convert it into a zip file so that the size is reduced, because I guess some of these files can be large. So that's how you submit it in the assignment on Blackboard. And so like it was great experience today to actually get some hands-on experience, right? Like today was the actual first day formally doing coding, and both in C++ and in Python. And it was a great experience and you feel like, oh, you're one of the coding community now or you feel like, oh, I'm one of the programmers now, even though I'm a baby in this programming world. So it's a great first day. And then the funny thing is, as you start getting involved in programming as you start, getting your hands dirty, getting your feet wet, whatever you want to call it, and as the subject becomes demystified, then you realize that, like, it's not that big of a deal anymore, like, until the day you understand programming, it's all like, oh, I don't know what this is, and you're all like, it's a mystery, and you're all, it's all unknowns. But once you get into it, then you are in the rat race, right? You are in the race to perfect it or master it. And then I guess once you have mastered one or two programs, or even get started in one or two programs, then the whole world of programming becomes demystified. And then you're like, oh, why was I so scared of this before? Or why was I so amazed when other programmers, talk about their achievements? You see a lot of programmers. This is 2021. This is August 2021. So you see a lot of programmers giving TEDx talks, or having YouTube channels, or having discussions on YouTube. Like, have you ever seen a person like a chef going on TEDx or TED Talks and talking about how to make pasta? Or have you seen somebody going on TEDx and talking about how to make bread? No, right? And that's because it's not that big of a deal if you make bread or make pasta, and you don't have to make a video about how to do it, right? You don't have tutorials. Of course there's tutorials about how to make pasta, but it's not that big of a deal, So in August 2021, when I'm making this YouTube video right now, it is not common for people to know coding or programming, and not everybody has aptitude for math or interest in math. And then when there are some coders or programmers doing that, people are amazed, like I was amazed until last week, like now I know something, but I'm still amazed. But it's not that big of a deal as it was for me like 4 days back, So there are people who are trying to change this, and then you see that there are programmers who like to keep it a secret, and then they want only them to know how to do programming. They don't want everybody else to know. But maybe there are also programmers who are trying to democratize the whole thing, to make it open source, to make it so that everybody can learn how to code or program. And they're already shouting on top of their lungs, they're already trying to spread the message that, hey guys, get into coding, learn programming. It's not that difficult. It's not that big of a deal. You can do it too, So they are trying to spread this message, yet the general population is so involved in and drowned in mundane activities like, watching soap opera, or sports, or other forms of entertainment, or, just going about their day-to-day life, that people are not paying attention to the immense need for programmers and the immense number of jobs available out there, and the vast requirement for coders, and the vast amount of work there is to be done in this field of work. So like I think I am one of those who heard the call. Like I pay a lot of attention to market trends and supply, demand, and needs, and because if you want to get ahead, you have to be aware of these things, right? So like I heeded the call. I paid attention. I saw that there is a need. I saw that they are paying high salaries in Silicon Valley and other places for programmers, and this is a good career opportunity. So I got into this field, but not everybody understand this. Okay, so coming back to that, my third class about computer science, which is C++. So the labs we did hands-on, and then so when you do programming on C++, it's a little different from how it is on Python. So Python, when you type in a line, it's almost written in stone. It's hard to edit, like going back on Spyder platform. But I think there's an editor and you can edit. But when you program C++, it's just like typing on a Microsoft Word file. You know, you are okay to go back and change the code or edit the code. And then so in Python, what I saw was to get a result, you hit enter. I think it was enter. And for C++, you have to hit F5. So F5 will bring your output. So in C++ on Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio, so there is a box at the bottom that shows you your output, and also there's a black box that shows your errors. Yeah, so this is what I noticed was different about C++. And so the instructor was saying that C++ is a language which is least machine intensive, in the sense that it tries to take the least amount of memory, it tries to have least amount of storage, and tries to do work efficiently and quickly using the least amount of resources. And that's why it's pretty popular, and maybe it's less resource intensive. And yeah, so this is what I learned on my third day of class. Some progress for sure. So slowly you can feel the heat, you know, like the courses, the subject material is getting more real or more intense and more difficult with time. And yeah, so yeah, I'm glad, like learning so much by the third day is a real big deal. And you know, at this time I want to tell everybody, like, if you're not having any idea of programming or coding, you should get into the field. Even if you don't want to join a full 4-year program like me, try to get into a boot camp. There are boot camps which are, I heard, like $10,000 to $20,000 that cost you $10,000 to $20,000. But they also promise you high-paying jobs, to at least promise to help you. But even if you don't do that, like, you know, just watching YouTube videos, going on courses like Udemy and you know, Brilliant.org. I mean, do something. Like, talk to people, try to put in efforts. Like, do something you can, whatever you can, and do some research yourself and try to learn coding, because this is a big deal, and this is important, you know. So this is what I want to encourage everyone to do. From somebody who's just been on his third day of learning, this can change your life, you know. I feel so confident right now that I will start learning really fast now on, and make good progress, and yeah, try to become as good at as many subjects as possible. And so right now all my focus is on the summer 2022 internship. Summer internship, there's going to be companies opening up spots for interns, and I want to learn as much as I can, be already good at Python and C++ and JavaScript and Java and C# and C, and whatever I can get my hands on to learn. You know, I want to be good. And you know, if there's people doing boot camps for 3 to 6 months and becoming good enough to get jobs, I have 2 semesters to learn as much as I can and become really good, you know. So that's the plan for now. At the end of the third day, I'm really happy, and I'm so glad I got into this program, and it's definitely worth it. And you should get into it too. You know, anything you can do. And yeah, good luck to you. And yeah, I wish you success. Take care.